The story begins in the Antarctic Ocean, historically a place of peril, with a large vessel trapped in the ice during winter. The captain is desperately trying to rescue the passengers, but the biting cold is intensifying. Just as survival seems impossible, a cry for help rings out on a snowy night. The captain and his crew rush to the rescue. The man pleads, "Please take me away from here, or kill me. Don't leave me to suffer in this torment." Pitying his state, the captain brings him aboard. However, at that very moment, a terrifying giant monster who was pursuing the rescued man reaches the ship. The colossal creature starts attacking the crew. They try to fight back, but even bullets prove ineffective, forcing them to admit defeat. Finally, a soldier fires a powerful rocket-like gun, but the monster is only knocked down, falling off the ship. The impact of the fall violently shakes the vessel, causing damage inside and threatening the lives of the passengers. Seeing this, the captain fires his powerful gun at the ice where the monster is standing. The nearby ice cracks, and the monster plunges into the freezing water. They assume he's dead, but this is far from the truth. The next morning, the captain approaches the rescued man, Victor, and asks why the monster was pursuing him. Victor begins to tell his story, and the scene shifts to the past. We first see a 12-year-old Victor, the son of a great scientist, who aspired to become a doctor and scientist like his father. Victor achieves his goal early through hard work, but when he fails to save his own mother, he rages at his father, questioning the use of science. His father convinces him that humans cannot bring the dead back to life. However, Victor resolves to find a way, a formula or technology, to resurrect the dead, something his father couldn't achieve. During this storytelling, the monster, who had been submerged, miraculously emerges from the water without a scratch. The extreme cold hadn't affected him. The scene shifts back to the past. Victor immerses himself in research. Years pass. At the age of 30, Victor discovers a method to revive the dead using human organs and electricity. He presents his experiment to an assembly of major industrialists. He demonstrates a half-human body being brought to life by a machine. Fearing that Victor is attempting to challenge God and become a god himself, they are horrified. They condemn Victor and demand he immediately stop the experiment. Undeterred, Victor throws a ball toward his humanoid creation. The humanoid catches the ball and speaks. Terrified, everyone demands Victor leave immediately. No one is willing to fund his experiment. Victor leaves, even as his creation writhes in pain. Some turn away from his research, fearing that if his discovery became known, no one would die and the world would become overpopulated. A wealthy industrialist, who was gravely ill with a terminal disease and had little time left, calls the depressed Victor. The industrialist had been searching for a way to cure his illness and extend his lifespan for years. Learning of Victor's experiment gives him hope for survival. He tells Victor, "I will provide all the money and materials you need, from any corner of the world. Complete your lab, finish your experiment and then save me." Victor, overjoyed, informs his brother William of the news. William is also happy. There, Victor meets Elizabeth, who is to become William's wife. Elizabeth advises Victor that there is a boundary between science and God, and he should only complete his experiments using science, never considering himself a god. Victor moves to a remote location to keep his experiments secret. He gradually transforms an old palace into a lab. He also constructs 2 large silver antennae. He knew that reviving a complete human would require an enormous amount of electricity, which couldn't be generated at the time. Therefore, he decides to use lightning from the sky to bring a human to life. These silver antennae would collect the lightning and complete his experiment, animating his creation. Elizabeth, the industrialist's niece, and William help Victor finish the lab. After the lab is complete, Victor conducts numerous experiments to revive a full human but fails. Elizabeth then tells him, "This won't work. You need to start from the beginning. Pay attention to yourself, create him just as you are." Victor understands her words. He begins the experiment anew, observing his own body movements. To animate his humanoid, he connects the skeleton and muscles with wires so it can move its arms and legs. The entire body of his creation is covered in wires. After completing the body's structure, he needed to install the organs. Since a war was going on, Victor brings back many dead bodies from the battlefield. Using the organs from these corpses, he places them inside his humanoid just like in a human body. The process of creating this humanoid is gruesome. Victor cuts up each corpse to find the correct organs. He uses one person's eyes and another's nose for this creation. After assembling all the parts, he names it Frankenstein. The heart of this body is connected to a power machine that will bring the heart to life using electricity. Now, all he has to do is wait for a storm. The lightning from the sky will strike the silver antennae, bringing the humanoid to life. One day, such a storm arrives. Victor believes his experiment will be completed today. That same day, the industrialist who funded the experiment arrives at Victor's lab. "My experiment will be complete today. What do you want?" Victor asks. The industrialist replies, "When I die, revive me just like this body. If you can't, then place my heart and brain in this body." Victor responds, "No, I will not make any more changes to my creation." Angered by this, the industrialist argues with Victor. During the quarrel, the industrialist falls and dies. The lightning strikes the antennae, but Victor's experiment fails. Frankenstein does not come to life. Victor is devastated that years of hard work have been wasted. Exhausted, Victor falls asleep. When he wakes up in the morning, he can't believe his eyes. Frankenstein is walking and standing. He is terrified to see his creation chained up. Its gait and behavior are very strange, not like a normal human. Such were the movements of a creation connected by wires. This creation, whose every part belonged to a different person, was hideously distorted. Victor is afraid of Frankenstein and locks him in a secret room. Victor realizes something: the brain of this large creation is equivalent to that of a newborn infant. Victor tries to teach him to speak. He first says his own name: "I am Victor." Frankenstein repeats it in a terrifying voice: "I am Victor." Every day, Victor tries to teach him normal human life. However, Victor forgets that Frankenstein is mentally a child and should be treated as such. A few days later, William and Elizabeth come to visit Victor. Victor is frantic because he killed Elizabeth's uncle, the industrialist. While Victor is talking to William, Elizabeth hears noises from the cellar floor. She goes there and meets Frankenstein. She is astonished and happy about Victor's success. Seeing Frankenstein, she says, "You are so big." Frankenstein asks her name, and she tells him. Elizabeth also tries to teach him things. She teaches him the 3 words: water, air, and fire. Elizabeth teaches him more things, starting at a child's level. When Frankenstein understands what she teaches, but not what Victor teaches, Victor becomes jealous. Angrily, he goes to his brother William. "Take Elizabeth away from here immediately. My creation is very dangerous." He is the one who killed Elizabeth's uncle, he says. He shows William the industrialist's corpse. "If you want to save your life and your wife's, leave today. I will also destroy my creation," Victor says. William heeds Victor's warning and leaves with Elizabeth. As soon as they leave, Victor douses the entire palace with petrol and sets it on fire. The palace explodes, and Victor is thrown outside. His leg is severely injured and broken, barely connected to his body by some nerves. Meanwhile, William, at Elizabeth's insistence, returns. Seeing Victor's condition, William becomes depressed. They take him to the city. The scene returns to the present. Frankenstein, safely out of the water, boards the ship for revenge and starts setting fire to parts of it. The captain confronts Frankenstein. "Is the story Victor told, the one who created you, true? Are you really so dangerous that you kill people?" Frankenstein replies, "No, that is only half true. I have not killed anyone. I am angry at Victor. I will take revenge for what he did to me. He abandoned me in the burning palace. I saved my life with great difficulty and came out through the basement. That path led to the forests, and I wandered in the woods for years. Victor never considered that I was mentally a child, nor did he think about how I would live in this world. I suffered greatly. Even animals ran away in fear of me. I was very lonely. Some hunters who saw me in the forest mistook me for a demon and attacked me. Once, hunters shot me. I ran to save my life and hid near a house. When I regained consciousness, my wounds were all healed," Frankenstein says in amazement. "I saw many people living together lovingly in that house. I also wished for a family like that. I wanted people to talk to me. I saw an old man reading something to his grandson. Hiding, I understood their conversation, learned their language by listening, and observed their behavior. I wanted to be a part of that family. I saw the family members going to work and fulfilling the household needs. I also decided to help them fulfill their needs. Sometimes I would bring a bundle of firewood from the forest, and sometimes I would hunt deer for them. They wondered who was helping them. The grandfather reassured them that it must be God helping. After some time, the family decides to leave the house and move to the city. However, the grandfather remains there. The grandfather was blind but could hear. He knew Frankenstein was in their house. He saw Frankenstein as a human being and knew he was the one helping them. After the family left, Frankenstein came before him. The old man accepted Frankenstein as a member of his own family. During the time they lived together, the grandfather taught Frankenstein how to live like humans, read, and do everything. One day, after Frankenstein had learned everything, the grandfather spoke to him. He asked, "Where did you come from?" Frankenstein was shocked by this question because he didn't have the answer. "Do you remember where you were last?" The grandfather asked him. "Yes, I remember the place where I came from. I can go there," Frankenstein replied. "Go there. You will be able to learn about your life," the grandfather said. Following his words, Frankenstein went to the place where Victor created him. There, he understood Victor's experiments. He was surprised to learn that he was not born, but created. He also obtained Victor's address from there. He decides to go to Victor and request that he create another being like him so he can live with someone in this world. After learning who he was, he immediately returned to the grandfather to share the good news. But when he arrived, he saw that the grandfather had been attacked by wolves and was near death. Seeing this, he was devastated. "You must not die. You are my only friend in this world," he told the grandfather. While they were talking, the grandfather's children arrived. They mistook Frankenstein for a monster and shot him from behind. Frankenstein ran out to escape them. As those people continuously shot at him, he fell down. They thought he was dead, but he was only unconscious. The next day, he regained consciousness. By then, the grandfather had been taken away by his children. Frankenstein now knew what to do. He had to go to Victor. He already had the address. He traveled and reached Victor's place, where Victor and his brother William were celebrating a party. He became angry seeing Victor living a luxurious life while he was living in pain. In his rage, he attacks Victor and says, "I will kill you." Victor tells him, "I want you to kill me. I regret creating a monster like you. I have been regretting creating a monster like you since that day." Frankenstein said, "I am not a monster," but Victor didn't listen. He took out a gun and was about to attack Frankenstein. But Elizabeth came in front of Frankenstein. The bullet meant for Frankenstein pierced her body. Frankenstein was devastated again, because only the grandfather and Elizabeth had seen him as a human. In his grief, he lifted Elizabeth and left the party. At this time, he had pushed away William and the others who had tried to stop him. William's head was severely injured in this attack. William became depressed over his wife's death. "You destroyed everything," he told Victor. Shortly after, he succumbed to his serious injuries and died. Victor's brother's life was ruined because of Frankenstein. Victor felt intense hatred for him. To take revenge, he tracked Frankenstein down again. Angrily, Frankenstein pulled out his nose. "I will take my revenge on you," Victor said. "If you want to take revenge on me, find me," Frankenstein said and left. Years passed. Victor pursued Frankenstein for years with materials that could kill him. One day, Frankenstein appeared before him. "What do you have to kill me? Bring it. I will kill myself. But if I don't die, I will kill you," he told Victor. Victor gave a dynamite bomb to Frankenstein. Frankenstein lit the dynamite and blew himself up. But, as usual, he didn't die. He continued to pursue Victor. This was to keep his word and kill Victor. When he was about to hurt Victor, Victor called the captain and his crew for help. That was the scene shown at the beginning of the movie. In the present, Frankenstein was telling the whole story to the captain and Victor. He told Victor, "I didn't want much from you. Honestly, I didn't want to kill you. At first, all I wanted was to find you and ask you to create another being like me, so I could live in this world." Hearing his words, Victor's eyes filled with tears. "I didn't trust you, whom I created," he said, and apologized to Frankenstein. Victor's condition was very poor, he was about to die. Before dying, he told Frankenstein, "You must live in my place and you must forgive me." Frankenstein forgave Victor too. The captain, who understood everything, was also very sad. Soon after Victor succumbed to death. Finally, Frankenstein gets off the ship, freeing their vessel from the iceberg and allowing it to sail into the sea. Everyone is saved because of Frankenstein. On their way, everyone waves at Frankenstein. Frankenstein was sad to see humans leaving him again. But he understood that he would have to live this life alone. The movie ends with him being shown alone.